What's up, guys? ClutchFan37 bringing you an Under Armour Command lacrosse head review. So the Command came out February 1st of this year. Under Armour blew it up all over social media for 2-3 months, all the hype about it. And it's just the release of the head was phenomenal. If you were at LaxCon or saw my LaxCon video or anyone's LaxCon videos like East Coast Dives or Super String Lacrosse, the Under Armour booth was huge. It wasn't even a booth, it was like a playground. They had a bunch of Command heads there for sale before they released. They had a bunch of pre-dyed ones, and they were just talking about it nonstop, which I think is awesome for the head. At first, I was a little annoyed because every post I saw from certain social media companies, or not social media companies, like lacrosse companies, was all about the Command head. And in the past, Under Armour has not made the best lacrosse heads, at least in my personal opinion. They're either way too stiff, too flimsy. The top holes here were just too small, couldn't double wrap it, let alone really fit a hero string through just once. So I was a little skeptical at first, but I just reached out to Under Armour and said, hey, I make YouTube videos. Would you guys be willing to send me one to try out and give you guys my full review and then post a video about it, before the release or after release? And they were gracious enough to send me over 2 of them. So thank you to Under Armour if you guys see this. I appreciate it a lot. But overall, I'll go through the head. So first thing you'll notice, the aesthetics and the actual head itself. It's a lot different than what Under Armour's been used to doing. It doesn't have that bluish purple tint to it. It's a pretty solid white. If you've ever seen those Under Armour heads, maybe you know what I'm talking about. The Under Armour thing here at this scoop, some people don't like it and scratch it off. Some people really like it. I'm pretty neutral about it. I think it's a cool look, but I don't really care too much. The throat, it has the Under Armour symbol there, which I think is awesome, and the ball stop is actually pretty cool. So it's better than your generic just foam ones. It looks like, a different material. It says Under Armour, or it has the Under Armour logo, and it says Command, and then under says Universal in black. So it looks in the ball stop and fades, so you can't really say it or see it says Universal, which I think is cool. And then overall, the head itself has a couple different points here on the throat, and then up here on these ridges where it has a unique texture to it. I'm not sure you can see it in the video, almost like a snake skin. Don't really think it does a whole lot. Maybe, if you're someone like me who's really picky about stuff, if you're cradling one-handed, you might get a small amount of grip touching this part, but not a whole lot. I think it's just for looks, and I definitely think it's cool. Another thing I noticed is right away it looked a lot like a Cobra head that Warrior made a couple years back. I had the 1 strut here and then 2 or 3 struts here. But other than that, aesthetic-wise, I think it looks awesome. The feel of the head is amazing. The shape, I think, is perfect for a universal spec head. The scoop seems a little short, top to bottom to me, and then feels a little bit more pinched in than some of their heads out there, like an Evo 4X6. And the head itself's almost hourglass shaped, so you can see it's wide, and then narrows down right about here is the main pinch point, right in the middle, and then widens out again, which I really like. It makes it good for all different pockets, specifically more of a mid pocket because it's going to hold the ball nice and gently here. So. Cons about the head, I really don't have a whole lot to say bad about these heads. One thing that did kind of throw me off a little bit when I was stringing it is looking at the middle diamond. These holes seem a bit closer together than the 2 outside ones, and for that, this hole or this mesh seems a little scrunched inward, but it really doesn't make that big of a deal. Someone like me where I like the ball to hit the scoop a bit, especially right in the middle, I think it might help a little bit because this mesh isn't as stretched out to make it super tight. It's a little looser here, a little baggier, so it's going to help hit the top of the head, or at least the way I string this stick, that's what it helps with, or at least I think. Stringability, I definitely think it was pretty easy to string. I mean, there's a solid amount of holes. I think one of the greatest things is Under Armour. They made these holes, the first 3, rectangular and wide enough to where you could double tie it on, so you can see right here 2 tie-ons and still manage to go through. Did take a little bit of effort, but thankfully for hero strings, having the tipped end, super easy to go through. So stringability, it did take me personally about 2 or 3 times to find the pocket I really liked in it, but I could achieve a mid-high pocket that worked well, a really low pocket, or just a solid mid pocket in it pretty effortlessly. One thing is the bottom holes, they are pretty spaced out for an Under Armour head, and they're pretty nicely shaped. You can definitely fit some leathers down in there. I just use a basic shooting string. Nothing too fancy. I think they're spaced out nicely. One thing I did notice that is a little strange to me is here at the bottom they have 3 holes spaced really tight together. I want to say Under Armour's pretty good at doing that. that's been in the last couple of heads from them. And I don't know if there's really a pro or con to it, but just something different because all the other ones are evenly spaced out and the last three are just bunched together. I don't know if that's going to help with facing off, if it's going to cause breakage, but I really don't notice anything. So that's pretty much all I can say bad about this head is, these two holes seem a little close together, which I personally don't care about. The three bottom holes together might be an issue later on with breaking down there, but I mean, it's a very stiff head. Definitely would recommend this for middies. Attack, which is what I play, definitely, I mean, it's a great head. Defense, I could definitely see a defender using it. So overall, I think it's just a really good head, sound head. So going it through the pocket, Hero Mesh and Hero Strings, my typical mid to mid-low, somewhat baggy pocket, and then when you go to shoot, it just sits right there, hooks, and snaps pretty fast. So second string is the top hole, or second hole, top string. Third hole, tie on, skip, not at SI, not SI, skip, not at SI, floating knot, and then ones all the way down, skipping the middle bottom hole. That's going to achieve this nice pocket. Priced at $90, you really can't go wrong with this head. It's not the $100 mark, but it's not the $70 or $80 mark. So it's right there in the middle. I think Under Armour's really stepping their game up with this head and all the stuff they're coming out with, the Engage gloves, Command Pro gloves, the shafts. So I expect big things from Under Armour the next year or two, starting with the Command head, which, I mean, as of right now, might be my favorite head that I've used. And I know I say that a lot, but, I actually really like this head. I can't really say anything bad about it, so this has been my gamer for a while, my good practice stick since we haven't really started games yet, but, it's what I've been using consistently. So there's that, just to show off the other ones I have. If you saw my earlier video from LaxCon, picked up 2 Maryland dyed ones. This might be the best one, similar to what Scott Ratliff got from Lacrosse Unlimited. Don't know what I'm doing with this one yet. I'll probably string it up with a nice fancy looking pocket and just put it in a case and hang in my room. So we'll see. The next one, my other Maryland one, strung up with same pocket as that one. One nylon, one straight. Don't know if I'll actually use this. I might have that as my backup stick, but we'll see. Just on an Under Armour grip shaft. I took off all the graphics because I like the all black look. And then this one, there's a little special story behind this one that I'll get into in a different video. So silver Under Armour grip shaft, same thing, took the graphics off. This is a completely different pocket I've been working on for the last month and a half or so, 2 months, and trying to get a pocket to where it's pretty much designed for shooters. Obviously you can pass with it, but it's going to add a bit more whip, bit more snap to your shot. So this is what I've been working on, just kind of give you the quick look at it. So definitely pick up a Command head if you're looking for a new attack or midi head and don't want something that is generic and you've seen before. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Definitely check out 50calmesh.bigartel.com to pick up a custom strung head. I'm hoping to get a couple of commands up there within the next week or two, so be on the lookout for that. Thanks for watching. Oh, that just sounded awkward. I'm sorry. Okay.